Recently, Microsoft Azure has acquired reasonable public cloud user base, and it is getting momentum every day. So, if you really want to take your career to the next level, and if you think to build your career in cloud platform, you can definitely think of Azure Cloud. So, in this video, we are going to see what all services are provided by Azure Cloud. So, let's begin. Coming to the first service, which is AI machine learning. So the first one in the AI machine learning is applied AI services. So using this service, so it is a specialized service that enable organization to accelerate time to value in applying AI to solve complex scenarios. Another service is bot service. So intelligent serverless bot service that scale on demand. So if you want to define any bot, you can use bot service. Next service is cognitive search. So AI powered cloud search services for mobile and web application development. So it will expedite your web and mobile development. Cognitive services. So add smart API capabilities to enable contextual interaction. So that's where cognitive services are important. Machine learning bring AI to everyone with fluent, scalable, trusted platform with experimentation and model management. Microsoft Genomics is power genomic sequence and research insight. Open dataset. So suppose you want to host and share curated open dataset to accelerate development of machine learning models. So you can use open dataset service. And Project Bonsai is to create intelligent industrial control system using simulation. So that's all available as part of AI and machine learning services on Azure platform. Coming to the next platform, which is analytics. So as part of analytics, we have analysis services. So enterprise grade analytics engine as a service. Azure Purview is to maximize business value with unified data governance. Data catalog is to get more value from enterprise data assets. So Data Explorer is fast and highly scalable data exploration service. Data Factory is hybrid data integration at enterprise scale made easy. Coming to the next service, Data Factory. So hybrid data integration at enterprise scale you can achieve using Data Factory. Data Lake Analytics is distributed analytics service that makes big data easy. Databricks. So if you want to use Spark on top of AWS service, you can use Databricks service. Event Hubs receive telemetry from millions of devices. So that is what Event Hub. AT Insight is very popular service when it comes to the analytics. It is to provision cloud, Hadoop, Spark, R server, AWS, and strong cluster as part of the AT Insight. Operator Insight is unified visibility into data from disaggregated network to end-to-end analytics and insight. Power BI embedded means if you want to enable manage Power BI service, you can use Power BI embedded. Stream analytics is mean for real-time data streaming processing of millions of IoT devices. So if you want to gather data from various IoT devices, you can use Stream analytics. And Synapse analytics is unlimited analytics service with unmatched time to insight. So these are the analytic services available on Azure platform. Coming to the most common service, which is compute. So on Azure platform, we have app services to quickly create powerful cloud apps for web and mobile. App service Linux, so quickly create powerful Linux cloud apps for web and mobile. Azure Batch is to create a scalable batch scheduling solution. So that's where Azure Batch is very useful. Azure Function is to process events with serverless code, which is similar to Lambda function in case of AWS. Azure Quantum is to experience quantum impact today on Azure. Azure Red Hat OpenShift. So if you want to have OpenShift cluster on Azure platform as managed service, you can go for Azure Red Hat OpenShift. Azure VMware solution is to run VMware workloads natively on Azure. Cloud services to create highly available, infinitely scalable cloud application and API. Container apps, so if you want to deploy and build modern apps and microservices. So container instance is a service which you can deploy on Azure without managing service. Container registry, so if you want to have your own image register on Azure platform, you can use container. Cycle Cloud is to create, manage, operate, and optimize HPC and big compute cluster in scale. Dedicated host, a dedicated physical server to host your Azure VMs for Windows and Linux. So that's where you can use dedicated host. And if you want to have Kubernetes cluster on Azure platform, you can use Kubernetes services. Services Fabric is to develop microservices, orchestrate container on Windows and Linux. Virtual desktop is to deliver virtual desktop experience to any device at cloud scale. And virtual machine, which is very popular, so provision Windows on Linux, virtual instances on Azure Cloud, you can use virtual machines. And virtual scale sets is to manage and scale up the thousands of Linux and Windows virtual machines. So these are all services available as part of the compute on Azure Cloud Platform. Coming to databases, again, there are various databases, starting with Cassandra. So if you want to have a Cassandra kind of managed instance on Azure platform, you can use Apache Cassandra on my service. And for Cosmos DB, we have very popular service, which is Cosmos DB, which is used for distributed multi-model database for in scale. Then if you want to set up MariaDB managed service on Azure Cloud, you can use database for Maria. And similarly for database for MySQL, database for Postgres, and Redis Cache, you can use Redis Cache service. And for MS SQL kind of managed services, you can use SQL database, and SQL Server Storage DB is used for dynamic storage on premise SQL Server database to Azure. Okay, so these are the services available as part of databases. Now coming to the development services on Azure platform. So more it is related with the above. So app configuration is for storage, storing the application level computation. Then Azure Chaos Studio is to improve application resilience by introducing faults and simulating outages. Azure DevOps is for teams to share code, track work, and ship software. Azure Spring Cloud is fully managed Spring Cloud service built and developed with PyPortal. So if you want to spin up project-based templates as an infrastructure, so you can use deployment environment web service available as part of Azure. Dev Test Lab is to quickly create environment using usable templates and artifacts. Lab services is to scale up labs for classroom trials, development, and testing other scenarios. Load testing is to optimize performance with high scale load testing. Manage Grafana. So if you want to have a Grafana managed service on Azure platform, you can use Manage Grafana. Microsoft DevOps is used to streamline development with secure, ready-to-code workstation in cloud platform. And if you want to add real-time web functionality on Azure platform, you can use single R service. And Virtual Studio App Center is to continuously build, test, release, and monitor your apps. So these are all from development and DevOps perspective. Coming to the most important part of Azure platform is identity and security. So if you want to have an Active Directory service on Azure platform, you can use Azure Active Directory. And for Azure Active Directory B2C, means business to client, we have Azure ADBC. For consumer identity and access management in Azure Cloud Platform, we have ADB2C, business to client service. For Azure ADDS, we have Azure Virtual Machine to domain without domain controller. And Azure Key Vault is to manage safeguard various keys as part of your secrets. So Azure Sentinel is the standing watch by your side, intelligence secure analytics for your entire enterprise. Denial of service attack protection you can achieve on AWS platform using TTOS protection. So if you want to manage hardware security models on Azure Cloud Platform, you can use dedicated HSM cloud service. Defender for cloud is extended threat protection to any infrastructure, and infrastructure protection is to protect any sensitive information on the cloud platform. So that is all about identity and security. Coming to the next topic, that is IoT and MR, that is mixed reality. So as part of Azure, we have Azure Maps. So Azure Maps is the API service which provides geospatial context to data Azure Sphere is use securely connect MCU power devices from the silicon to the cloud. Defender for IoT means if you want to secure your IoT devices, you can use Defender for IoT. And digital twins is to build next generation IoT spatial intelligence solution. IoT Central is to experience simplicity of SaaS for IoT with no cloud expertise required. So if you really want to use SaaS as a IoT, you can use IoT Central. IoT Edge is used to extend cloud intelligence and analytics to edge devices. IoT Hub is to connect, monitor, and manage millions of IoT assets. An object anchor is to automatically align and 3D content to objects in the physical world. And remote rendering is used to render high quality interactive 3D content stream to your devices in real time. In order to get that mixed reality experiences, you can use spatial anchors, and for time series inside, you can use time series inside service available as part of IoT and Embark category under Azure platform. So that's all about IoT and security. Coming to the integration category, and let's see what is there. So the first service in the list is API management to publish your API service. Then second one is energy data services. It is fully managed enterprise grade OSDUTM data platform. Event grid is to get reliable event delivery at massive scale. And healthcare APIs is mean for if you want to have health data solution interoperability manner, you can use healthcare APIs. And logic apps is to automate the access and use of data across clouds without writing code. Notification hub is to send push notification to any platform from any backend. And service bus is to connect across private and public cloud. And web pub and subscriber web service is to build real-time message web application using web sockets and publish and subscribe pattern. So this is all about integration web services on Azure platform. So when you work in Azure platform, it is very important. So that's where automation is the web service available on Azure platform to simplify cloud management with process automation. So if you want to follow the best Azure practices and its recommendation, then you can use Azure Advisor. Azure Arc is the service used to bring Azure services management to infrastructure. So if you want to take Azure services to any other infrastructure, you can use Azure Arc. Azure Auto Manage is to simplify management of Windows Server virtual machines. Azure Backup is to use data protection and protect against ransomware. So that's where you can take the backup. Azure Blueprint is enable quick and repeatable creation of the governed environment. Azure Lighthouse is to empower service providers to manage customer at scale with precision. Azure Monitor is used to monitor your Azure application and its network. Azure Policy is to implement corporate governance and standard at scale for Azure resources. Azure Portal is to build, manage, and monitor all Azure products into single and unified console. Azure Cloud Shell means if you want to interact with Azure platform, then you can use the Cloud Shell in a browser-based shell. Cost management is again very important service. So if you want to optimize what you spend on the cloud while maximizing cloud potential, you can definitely utilize cost management service. And if you want to have a Kubernetes service in Azure cloud, you can use Kubernetes Fleet Manager. And Manage app is to simplify management of cloud app offerings. So these are the management and governance services. Coming to media and communication, so when you play with audio, video, data, so that's where media and communication services plays very important role. So out of that, first one is Azure Content Delivery Service, so which is secure and more reliable content delivery platform. Azure CDN. Azure Communications Gateway is to connect. So if you want to have a Microsoft Teams on Azure platform, you can use Azure Communication Gateway. And Comma Services is to build rich communication experience with the same secure platform used by Microsoft Teams. And media services is to encode, store, and stream video, audio at scale. So streaming your audio, video data. So that is all about media and communication. Coming to the next one is migration. So suppose you want to migrate your on-premise cloud data. So these are the useful services. So Azure Migrate is to easily discover, access, right size, and migrate your on-premise VM to Azure. So the next service is Databox, which is used for appliances and solutions for data transfer to Azure and edge compute. Data migration services to simplify on-premise database migration to cloud. And resource mover is to simplify how you move multiple resources between Azure regions. And last one in the list is site recovery to keep your business running with building. So these are the services related with migration platform. Networking is very important thing in case of Azure. So if you want to build your own virtual network on Azure platform, so these are the services which are very helpful. The first one in the list is application gateway. So if you want to have your own application gateway as a web front end, you can use this service. So Azure Bastion is used for managing RDP and SSH access to your private machine. Azure DNS is for configuring domain name servers. And if you want to configure your own firewall on Azure platform, you can use Azure Firewall. Azure Front Door is a scalable, secure, enhanced delivery point for global and microservice-based web applications. And Azure Orbital is for satellite ground station and scheduling service connecting to Azure for fast downlinking. Express route is dedicated private network fiber connection to Azure. So if you want to have that dedicated connection with Azure, you can use Express route. Internet analyzer is to test how networking infrastructure changes will impact your customer performance. Load balancer is again very popular service to balance the traffic which is coming to your network. Then network watcher is network performance monitoring and diagnostic solution. Private link is to provide private access to service hosted on the Azure platform, keeping your data on the Microsoft net. Route server is to enable network and appliances exchanges route dynamically with virtual networks in Azure. Traffic manager is used for routing incoming traffic for high performance and availability. So if you want to have your own private network on Azure platform, you can use virtual network, and same thing you can do using virtual WAN. And VNet Manager is a service that centrally manage virtual networks in Azure from single pane to glass. And VPN gateway is to establish secure and cross-premise connectivity as part of. So last topic in the list is storage. The first service is every VFXT. So it is for file-based workloads in the cloud. And if suppose you want to have your own SAN storage in Azure platform, you can use Azure Elastic SAN. And for NetApps file, you can use Azure NetApps files. And as a Azure storage, it provides massively and scalable cloud storage on Azure platform. Confidential ledger is REST API managed service to store unstructured metadata in a blockchain structure. So if you want to explore blockchain ledger platform, you can use confidential ledger service on Azure. If you want to create your data lake storage on Azure platform, you can use this service, which is built on top of Azure Blob Storage. And data share is the service which is used for sharing big data with external organization. And for caching the HPC data, you can use HPC cache. And for managed disk, which is persistent store for your virtual machine, you can use managed disk. And managed luster, it's something which is related with HPC. And store simple is lower cost with enterprise hybrid cloud store. So these are the storage solutions available. So this is all about Azure services. So we saw Azure provides all kinds of managed services starting from AI ML to storage, and there are again many services to each category. So please put in the comment section as part of your Azure cloud platform what services you will learn or use in your project or assignment. Thank you for listening.